Turn that fucking shite off. That's better. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you at home in your own country, sitting in a chair, maybe having a cup of tea and a smoke or even an alcohol, and you're looking at your partner, the woman that you live with, or a man, whatever it is, and then you're looking around the house and then you look out the window and you think, fucking hell. And then you think about your job and the prospects of the future and everything else, and you're just getting really fucking down with the whole situation. Well, if you listen to a lot of these videos about the Philippines, you'll make yourself even more fucking down, because half of them is just fucking bullshit. Half of them are done by people that years and years ago said, oh, keep away from the Filipinos, don't get married, don't do this. And now they're all fucking getting married, buying houses and cars. So they're all fucking hypocrites. They send videos out. I'm going to quote you some of the titles of some of these videos, yeah? You need $4,000 to live in the Philippines. Can you live on $500? Well, make up your fucking mind. Is it 4,000 or 500? Here's what we think. I can't handle it. The regular Philippines is not so regular. White man's burden. Money matters in the Philippines. Hot, sweaty, sticky Friday evening on Fields Avenue on Walking Street. I asked this Filipina girl to marry me at Manila Airport. Fucking idiot. SRRV visas, tourist visa. Where are the best Filipinas? Why are foreigners leaving? Depression in the Philippines. Fight it. Philippines, 2 weak millionaires. Don't let this happen to you in the Philippines. What a load of fucking bollocks. And you lot sit and fucking listen to this. And you're thinking of coming to the Philippines. You must be totally fucking confused, if not depressed. So you're going to be depressed in your own country before you even get depressed when you come to the Philippines. So what groups come to the Philippines? This is what I'm trying to work out. And you probably clever bastards out there probably know more than me. In fact, that was such of a shock, my tripod even fell over as well. Yes, it did. Oh, here we go. Anyway, I'm back in action, I think. Anyway, let's start again. There's guys that meet a girl, a Filipina, in their own country. It could be any country. They meet a Filipina at work or somewhere. They fall in love. They come over occasionally to visit her parents. They go back to their home country. They decide, yes, they want to live in the Philippines when they retire. So they save up, and then they may start building a house, etc., etc. So those people will be fine in the Philippines. They keep themselves to themselves. They just want to keep a quiet life, and that's it. And then you can get another guy, a guy that meets a girl on LDR, long distance relationship. They go onto these websites and they find this girl, and then all of a sudden they find a girl that they like, and their old trousers start getting, rising a bit, and all of a sudden they're in love, and they tell their friends that they met this gorgeous girl online, and she's fucking gorgeous, the most beautiful girl I've ever met. And then she's asking you for money. Well, that is a red flag, which everyone says so. If a girl asks you for money within the first few weeks of knowing you, kick her into touch. That's for Danya. Yeah? Fucking get rid of her. She's no good. She only wants money she only wants you for one thing, money. And 9 times out of 10, these Filipinos or Filipinas online, and I'm not saying everybody, so don't start fucking complaining. Not everybody, but there are a majority of girls that go online for foreigners who already have husbands and boyfriends. And there was a case last year, I think, or the year before, where a foreigner, I think he was Swedish or Norwegian or something, one of them weird northern hemisphere countries, he took the girl, or reported the girl, to a TV channel, TV program. Of course, this TV program hooked onto it, And they had the foreigner, the woman and her husband on TV, on the show. And they sat at a table with the man and woman at one side, and opposite was the foreigner, and at the end of the table was like the commentator for the TV. And the woman couldn't even look the man in the eye. I felt sorry for the husband because he had to apologise all the time. In the end, they made a pledge that they would pay the money back to the foreigner, although it may take 200 years. But at least the foreigner was happy with that. But anyway, when you come to the airport, after you're meeting this girl online and you arrange to meet her at the airport and you're all fucking, clean shaven and aftershave on and clean underwear and everything else, you come to arrive at the airport. Lo and behold, you're looking around for her and you're saying, where the fuck is she? Is there any other airport that she could have gone? In the end, someone's tugging your arm and it's a total stranger who introduces herself as your friend's sister, because your LTR that you've fallen in love with has now disappeared over the horizon, maybe with somebody else. And lo and behold, a beautiful, maybe beautiful, sister has turned up to take her place. And yes, she's madly in love with you and she wants to take you back to meet the family. So there you are, you're at the airport, you've got both hands with cases, your money in your pocket and maybe a ring for your intended LDR, and now you're fucking totally on your own. What do? Mag to grid, get rid, fuck off. Say sorry, I'm meeting somebody else and book into a hotel and fucking forget it. Oh yes, LTRs are heartbreaking, but you'll get over it. Better to have a broken heart than no fucking money in the bank. Yeah? So, be careful with LTRs, but it's entirely up to you. But there are good women on these chat lines. Heart clubs, whatever you fucking call them. One is Filipino Cupid. Very good, but you have to pay money. And whether it's a scam, you get opportunities to meet people. But be very, very careful, guys. I know, especially when you're older and you've been alone for many years and you see this beautiful woman who's probably scantily dressed in front of the camera showing all her boobies and everything else, and you're getting a fucking hard on for the first time in years and you're madly in love and she says, send me $1,000 and you say, yep, what's your account number? Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. That's it. The next group I find is the single, divorced and separated guys who come for the Philippines just for fun. Yes, they come for a shagging holiday. Yes, they will get pissed up. They're here for a good time. They don't care what they say. They've got money in their pockets. They're not necessarily young. Some are middle-aged. Some are old bastards like me. But they come here thinking that they're still 29 and they go into the bars for hours and hours and hours, and all these Filipinas come up to them and they're wearing their short dresses, and then they stay there all day long imagining and having visions of what they could do with these girls, and in reality they can't do fuck all because they're too old. Or you can play pool with thousands of other fat bastards and you spend all your life in the bar just drinking, and then you decide to go somewhere else, and then you may get pushed down the stairs like some foreigner did here, or you may go into another bar where there's Filipinos and you start gobbing off because you're pissed, and the next minute you've got 10 Filipinos on top of you kicking shit out of you, and you wake up in the pavement or the curb walk, whatever you want to call it. And then you wake up in the morning covered in cuts and bruises, and you think, oh, a fucking good night that was. Come on, guys, you're the ones that give us a bad reputation. Yeah. Then you get another category, an old guy who's lonely and just wants companionship. Maybe he's lived in his own country for years and his wife has died and he doesn't have any luck with all the old women in their own country because they all look like dogs or they smell. And he decides to come over to the Philippines because he just wants to have a bit of a different lifestyle, and he wants to meet someone maybe a little bit younger, maybe a bit more attractive. Don't necessarily have to be a fucking 21-year-old. Not all old twats want young girls, believe me. It's only the idiots that go for young fucking girls. And then one day they decide to take them back to their own country, and within fucking months, after they're spoon feeding you in your wheelchair and changing your fucking diaper, they started going to a fitness club and meeting all these young guys, and all of a sudden you're on your fucking own again. You know, if you're going to have a big age gap, and that's entirely up to you, I don't give a fuck what age gap it is. Be a bit more sensible and stay here in their own country. A lot of Filipinos that go to another country don't like it. They like to be in the Philippines. So if you're going to have a young girlfriend or a wife or whatever, stay in the Philippines. Why not? It's better than your own fucking country where you've got to keep an eye on her all the time. And you get these young lads sniffing round her. Fuck's sake, you can't live like that. An old guy comes for companionship and he doesn't have to find a young girlfriend. He can find someone mature, or even a maid. A maid may come in for a few hours a day and he's got someone to talk to. He may want to go out for, you know, a quick walk and be happy and just go have lunch somewhere. If he talks to someone, that's an extra bonus. But they're not interested in fucking bars. So people, stop forcing people to fucking join your clubs or the way you live, because not a lot of people want it. If you want to get into a bar and piss it up, fuck off. Let people live their own life. Another group I found is single, divorced and separated guy that just wants a quiet life. A young guy, you know, doesn't have to do anything. You know, you can get an old guy that wants just companionship, and you can get a young guy that just wants some companionship. But a lot of people think, well, a young guy, why does he just want companionship? Why don't he get a fucking girlfriend and get married and do this and do that? Some people don't want to get married. They don't want to have the burden of a girlfriend. They don't want the inconvenience of having a full-time girlfriend. They're not visiting bars or anything like that. They just don't want to be tied down. They want to travel when they want to and everything else. Now, all these people that put out these videos, and you see them, the top 10 scams in the Philippines. There's 5 top places to find Filipinas and top places to do this and do that. Well, I won't say everyone that does the videos are fucking well off or happy, would you? You know, like I said, a lot of them contradict each other. They had videos out years ago and they said don't do this and don't do that, and they're all fucking married with big age gaps and bought houses and cars. My advice is turn these fucking videos off. No, not mine. No, listen to this one, but all the others, don't fucking listen to them because they talk shit. They're talking from their own experiences or experiences that they've heard of just to get viewing time. That's all they're doing it for. Excuse me, I have to have a drink. I've still got a cough, as you notice. My advice to you lot is simply, if you decide to come to the Philippines, turn all these fucking videos off and think about it yourself. What are the pros and cons? Write them down, pros and cons. What do you want to do? Where you want to live, etc. And then come over and have a visit. But you don't need to stay in a top-class hotel if you can't afford it. You can rent a room out for 3,000 pesos or even less. There's rooms for rent everywhere and they're safe and secure. You know, not everyone has got $4,000. One guy I know that lived with a transgender was living on $500. And the guy that said you need $4,000 to live comfortable is a load of bollocks, because he lives in a fucking one room which is cost him less than $100. So they're all fucking hypocrites, they're all two-faced, they just tell you shit. You know? The only person that knows how much you have and what your limits are is you. So just fucking forget everybody else and fucking just come for you and think about yourself. Don't worry about any bits of crumpet or anything here when you arrive. Think about you. I suggest you come over, rent a room in a place where you may want to live. If you want to spend there a few days, then move somewhere else. You'll always find a room to rent. And my only tip is have enough money in the bank in UK or the States or wherever your home country is, so you're able to get back home. Because if you come to the Philippines and it's not everyone's cup of tea, there's so fucking annoying things here. Cockerels are fucking annoying, but that's part of the Philippines. Men think more of their cocks than their women. But anyway, it's part of the culture, so you have to put up with the culture. It's the same as food. I can go out and buy lunch for 80 pesos, Filipino food, and there's nothing wrong with it. Or I could go to Jollibee or Burger King or go to a good restaurant and have a steak and everything and cost me 3,000 or 4,000 pesos. If you got the money, fine. But if you want to waste it on food that only goes in one end and comes out the other, that's entirely up to you. I personally like to keep my money for more important things. So, even if you get sick in the Philippines and you need treatment, you still got money in the bank to get you back home. Don't rely on the medical services here. So that's my only advice. Have money in the bank to get you back home if you don't like it. When you're here, look at the different places, the different scenes, the different food, the different everything. Anyway, I'm going to sign off there in case I fucking die on the phone. On the video, and that will go down well. I'll probably get more subscribers if I die. Anyway, I'm not dying yet. So have a nice day. Remember what I said. Turn all this shit off. Think what you want and only you. See you later. Okay, I'm off. I'm not listening to this shit.